It's What's Inside is out on Netflix, feature debut of director Greg Jardin. It's a really stylish but modern and eclectic and neon-drenched mixture of thriller, comedy, drama, and something out of an episode of Twilight Zone. The film follows a young couple who arrive at a friend's house the day before his wedding. He's throwing a party for a group of his college friends, of which they are a part of. And right from the get-go, you get the sense that beneath all the nice comments that these people throw at each other and catching up and so on, there are some unresolved issues between all of these characters. Not least between the main couple, who are having problems in the bedroom. But then one last guest arrives, a guy named Forbes, a former member of this group who nobody has heard from in 8 years since he left to join the tech field in California. And he brings a super secret suitcase containing a machine that allows people to switch bodies. The consciousness is transferred to someone else. And so they begin to use the machine to play a game where you have to correctly guess who is who. And of course, things quickly escalate from there. So first of all, this seems like a very simple premise, but the devil is in the detail. I loved how it was executed and where it went. Midway through the film, there is something that happens in the story that caught me completely off guard, and suddenly it just threw the entire movie wide open. And secondly, you have all this interpersonal drama and all the tiny little details established very early on that one by one come into play later as people use the bodies of others to do their own thing. Through this, the movie manages to make some commentary on relationships, on the nature of attraction and infidelity, modern social media and how it relates to actual reality. And it's just incredibly tight in terms of the script and its execution. Like I said, the first half of the movie introduces so many little elements, sometimes just in passing, and you think nothing of them. And then later you go, oh, that makes sense, when those Chekhov's guns begin to fire their cannonade. I think it's very well acted, and it's clear that all of the cast are having fun playing essentially one another as the movie goes on. I think the looks and the pacing and the vibe of the film are impeccable. You have these neon lights, you have this certain texture to the image, interesting camera work, and an atmosphere very reminiscent of Bodies, 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 which was also a very good movie. And just like that one, It's What's Inside manages to tap into the modern Gen Z culture rather accurately, and manages to play with some of those cultural elements that never really existed before. But it does so without becoming a sort of parody. It doesn't try to make fun of Gen Z, it just embraces it. I loved it. I thought it was an okay movie on paper, but executed so well that it ends up being genuinely great. And I'm sure it's flown under the radar somewhat because it's already been 2 months since its release, and I haven't really seen a lot of talk about it. So hopefully this review will convince you to give it a go.